Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we dive into the empowering pages of Grit to Great, authored by the dynamic duo Linda Kaplan Thaler and Robin Koval. This book stands as a robust guide to harnessing your untapped resilience and transforming mundane effort into substantial success. Grit to Great emphasizes that talent, while precious, is not the sole determinant of success. It introduces a world where the hard grit of perseverance trumps inherent skill, painting a vivid picture of the path from ordinary to extraordinary. Penned by two remarkable women, the authors are commanding figures in the advertising industry. Linda Kaplan Thaler, a Hall of Fame icon, has created some of the most influential advertising campaigns in the contemporary era. She helms publicist Kaplan Thaler, having co-founded the eminent Kaplan Thaler Group. Robin Koval, co-founder of the Kaplan Thaler Group and current president and CEO of the Truth Initiative, imparts her expertise from the trenches of advertising and as a faculty member of the revered New York University's Steinhardt School. This thought-provoking book is a must-read for those thirsty to improve themselves, reach ambitious goals, understand the psychology of success, or venture into entrepreneurship. A captivating exploration of the qualities that turn ordinary individuals into high achievers. Grit to Great serves as a practical roadmap to your personal and professional apex. Tune into this episode to discover the power of grit and uncover your path from grit to great. Grit to Great: How Perseverance, Passion, and Pluck Take You from Ordinary to Extraordinary. Introduction. Discover the secret to transcending limitations and realizing your dreams. Ever pondered over the life that could have unfolded if you had pursued your aspirations wholeheartedly? Be it strumming your guitar in a sold-out stadium, standing at the podium holding an Olympic medal, or cruising the city in your own luxury car with your self-built business in the backdrop, and you often conclude that maybe you just didn't have that innate talent, right? Well, let me tell you something. Talent isn't everything. As we're about to explore, the real game changer is grit. Yes, you heard it right. Grit is what propelled Michael Jordan to basketball stardom. It's the power that transformed a simple idea into the revolutionary iPhone, and it's the key that unlocked Oprah Winfrey's phenomenal success. Intrigued about what exactly grit entails? It's the determination and resilience to keep striving and to get back on the saddle even after countless tumbles. It's that magical element you need to evolve in order to make your dreams a reality. In this audio journey, we're going to unravel why it can be perilous to dwell in the realm of daydreams, how Jia Zheng's entrepreneurial misadventures propelled him into the spotlight, and how the dream of becoming a best-selling author came true at the ripe age of 98. Part 1. Hard work and passion often outrank talent in the journey to success. Do you ever look around and think that some people seem to effortlessly achieve greatness, as if they're just coasting on their talent? Picture the common school scenario. Some students barely study and yet ace their exams, while others burn the midnight oil just to keep pace. But here's a revelation. Relying solely on talent is not the ticket to long-term success. Indeed, the role of talent is frequently overstated. Yes, there are many people brimming with natural ability who could reach towering heights. Yet, these folks often realize early on that they can get by without much effort, leaning solely on their innate skills. On the flip side, those who might not have been dealt the best hand talent-wise strive relentlessly for accomplishment and self-betterment. They gravitate towards subjects or vocations that light a fire within them, not just those that come easy. So, in this seemingly paradoxical world, it's not the obviously talented ones who wear the crown. Instead, it's the hard workers, those who turn their dreams into reality, who eventually shine. Take an enlightening study conducted by psychologist Gabriele Oettingen in New York. The study, focusing on graduate students, compared daydreaming habits with study patterns and subsequent career outcomes. The fascinating results revealed that students who spent more time weaving dreams about their career ambitions instead of putting their nose to the grindstone ended up with fewer job offers and smaller salaries post-graduation than their industrious counterparts. So if you've set your sights on bagging your dream job, remember that hard work is your most reliable ally. To illustrate this, let's look at the author's own experience in running an advertising agency. A few years ago, they were vying for a major new client, Wendy's, the restaurant behemoth. How did they aim to clinch the deal? By committing themselves to working 70 and even 80-hour weeks for months on end, even stepping into the shoes of Wendy's employees to gain first-hand knowledge of the company's operations. Every waking minute was devoted to preparing for their presentation. Their dedication paid off when they secured the contract. According to Wendy's, they were chosen for their unflagging dedication, a sign that they would offer the best service. Part 2. There will come a moment when you must risk it all, stepping into uncertainty and trusting your abilities. Picture this: Nick Wallenda, the renowned high-wire artist, teetering his way across the Grand Canyon on a slender wire stretched 1,400 feet long. He stumbles and there's no safety net beneath to break his fall. But propelled by his skills and rigorous training, he rights himself and stays aloft. Similarly, in your professional journey, there will come a turning point where you must let go of your metaphorical safety net. It's a natural part of the journey when you possess the grit and passion to ignite your career's rocket boosters. As your trajectory begins to rise, you'll need to release your grip on the safe and familiar. This is when individuals fueled by grit step out on a limb, assessing and embracing calculated risks and diving boldly into the unknown. That doesn't imply blindly leaping into any situation that comes along. For instance, if you are a CEO considering branching out into new market territories, it's crucial to meticulously survey the risks and gauge the competition first. Underestimating potential pitfalls and leading your company down a hazardous path would be a disaster. But on the off chance that you falter, remember that grit equips you to perceive rejection as a valuable learning opportunity. Perhaps you are an entrepreneurial hopeful who shies away from the fear of investors turning you down. While rejection can be bitter, it can also illuminate a fresh perspective. Look at Jia Jiang as an example. Departing from the comfort zone of his tech job and fueled by the legacy of Steve Jobs, he embarked on his entrepreneurial journey. Initially, he faced a string of rejections and was close to throwing in the towel, but instead, he chose to flip the script. He embarked on an innovative venture, the 100 Days of Rejection project. Over the span of 100 days, Jiang took up different challenges daily, such as requesting only a quarter of a shrimp at a restaurant or trying to borrow $100 from a stranger, all aimed at helping him conquer his fear of rejection. His project, showcased online, grabbed attention and catapulted him to fame. Today, he has bagged a book deal and made appearances on TED Talks, underlining how grit can transform rejection into a stepping stone for success. Part 3. Success is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's your patience that sets the pace for your achievements. Did you know that Vincent van Gogh managed to sell just one painting during his lifetime? That's almost inconceivable considering that his masterpieces have since captivated art enthusiasts globally and fetched astounding prices. Despite his lack of acclaim in his time, Van Gogh created more than 2,000 works of art. How did he manage this? His secret weapon was perseverance and a grit born from an unwavering dedication to his craft. The truth is, most endeavors take considerable time to gain traction and even longer to achieve success. As a result, many individuals succumb to the gnawing frustration midway and abandon their pursuits. But there's another path. You can fuel your motivation during these lengthy quests by basking in the glow of the smaller victories that dot your journey. Take, for example, Mike Moore, the state attorney who is celebrated for his crusade against the big tobacco giants. For years, he strove to hold these tobacco behemoths accountable for the untold lung cancer-related deaths. His efforts were repeatedly rebuffed by various state attorneys. Yet, as the years rolled by, he painstakingly assembled an outstanding team, drawing motivation from the sporadic support he received from other state attorneys. His resilience ultimately bore fruit when the courts ordered tobacco companies to pay an astonishing $100 billion to 46 states to cover the medical expenses related to smoking. However, as people advance in age, they often start to perceive their possibilities as limited. Therefore, it's crucial to keep your motivation ignited as you grow older and refuse to settle. Rather than wasting time, make every year count by planning your milestones. Don't let a not now mentality dictate your choices, and never entertain the idea that you're too old to follow your passions. It's never too late. Consider the example of Captain James Henry. He was raised on a farm and went on to embrace the life of a fisherman. Despite this, he only learned to read at the age of 92. Remarkably, he penned an autobiographical bestseller titled In a Fisherman's Language at the grand age of 98. Part 4. Achieving greatness means harnessing your failures and embracing new experiences. No stranger to life's mishaps, we've all encountered failures that have left us feeling dejected. However, it's not these setbacks that define your character. Instead, it's what you do in their aftermath. Consider an ace poker player. They occasionally end up with a losing hand, but it's their ability to glean lessons from their blunders and evolve that sets them apart. The relevance of this insight isn't confined to card game enthusiasts alone. Regardless of your profession, you're bound to stumble across failures and seemingly insurmountable roadblocks throughout your career. But each of these trials harbors a nugget of wisdom, offering you an invaluable opportunity to learn and better yourself. For instance, consider the story of Eleanor Longden, who was diagnosed with schizophrenia after beginning to hear voices that preyed on her deepest fears of failure and abandonment. However, instead of letting her illness consume her, she turned it on its head. She embarked on a quest for knowledge, delved deep into the study of psychology, and achieved her PhD. Today, she serves on the board of an international organization that lends support and conducts research to aid individuals grappling with the same mental health condition she has overcome. But overcoming adversity doesn't imply that you should derive your grit from the fear of losing everything. On the contrary, it should be propelled by the pursuit of gaining more than you ever dreamed of. People possessing grit aren't successful because they dread failure, but because they visualize the rewards that accomplishing their goals could fetch them. This mindset empowers individuals endowed with grit to turn the impossible into achievable and vanquish any challenge that comes their way. In other words, they don't just fail, they fail forward. Take Oprah Winfrey, for instance. Early in her career, she was demoted from her initial job as a television anchor because her boss didn't believe she was cut out for television. But we all know she didn't let that deter her. Armed with an indomitable resolve to succeed, she eventually became one of the most influential television personalities in history. Part 5. Boost your grit by extending a helping hand to others. Have you ever pondered how our ancestors, thousands of years ago, managed to withstand the harsh elements, rampant diseases, and threatening wild animals? The secret to their survival lay in the power of collective effort. Cooperation, sharing resources, and enhancing one another's quality of life were the bedrock of the first human communities, a principle that holds as true today as it did then. Interestingly, offering your assistance to others can also serve to ramp up your own motivation. Have you ever offered to help an elderly woman carry her weighty bags? Have you extended the warmth of a blanket, a safe shelter, or food to a person living on the streets? If you've engaged in acts of kindness like these, you've likely felt an inner transformation and experienced a surge of gratification. This sense of satisfaction can fuel your grit. Consider the story of Navin Salen. Once a stay-at-home mom with 3 children, she made the conscious decision to aid African children suffering from malnutrition. Setting up a non-governmental organization and gathering the necessary support To widen her network took her years, but she invested every spare moment she had into this noble cause. Her relentless efforts have since aided over 2.5 million children across 44 countries. Aiding others not only pushes you to achieve what may initially seem improbable, but also enables you to develop your character and forge new connections. Offering help can foster a deeper understanding of your own emotions and personality traits. It allows you to appreciate your capacity for selflessness and kindness. Furthermore, it brings you into contact with other individuals who share your values and passion, facilitating collaborations that can elevate your work. And once you find yourself in the company of like-minded people, why not share some of your grit with them? It's simple. Educate others to embody kindness, resilience, and perseverance. The ripple effect will be an amplified motivation for all involved. Final summary. The pivotal takeaway from this book: success hinges on the strength of your grit, the ability to persist, display patience, nurture passion, and invest hard work. Instead of getting lost in fantasies and merely relying on your innate talents, dig your heels in and fervently chase your ambitions. This path to success involves leveraging failures as stepping stones, embarking on calculated risks, and bravely navigating the realm of the unknown. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.